My mom's a seamstress. My mom's a seamstress. Sewing room. Seamstress. I don't know why I set up this whole camera just now, and I don't know why I didn't know this until right now. Anyways, what's up? It's day 2 of reading Meet Cute, okay? I haven't even opened day 2 yet, because remember, I did, on video, and then my audio went all stupid, and I wasn't able to upload it onto TikTok, so I had to do, like, an alternative video for it. So, we're gonna open day 2. I did realize... Or open day 2 on here. So I did realize that these are just little stickers. Like, I don't have to cut it open, which I'm really happy about because I was really scared cutting it open. Cutting open the last one, because I was scared I was going to cut the paper. Like, the paper I have to read and stuff. But, there she is. Ripped open. Steel broken. Alright. February 2nd. Alright, that's today. I thought being in here would be a lot less noise, but I forgot about the aeroplanes. Print Shop by Nina LaCour. LaCour? Right there. Yeah, it's backwards, so have fun. Hi, one viewer, again. I don't know if it's the same person or someone different, but what's up? Nice to meet you, or welcome back. Alright, you know what? I forgot freaking water. Oh my gosh, okay. BRB. I know this is so bad, but BRB, I'm gonna go get some water real quick. Alright. My bad. I just knew from yesterday how much I was talking. I was gonna need water. Alright, are you gonna want to stay in here or not? Because I know you're gonna ask me to go out there in a second. There's Pegasus. Say hello. Hello, puppy. Alright, let me let him out real quick. Alright. Let's do this. This one looks like it's just about the same amount. Yeah, I think they're all like, they all seem to be the same amount of pages. Yeah. Alright. Print Shop. Nina LaCour. Let me catch my breath. Oh my god, that's embarrassing. My bad. I had to run. I ran back into my house. A high school parking lot at 11 p.m. My car under the bright light of a single street lamp, a lit up classroom in the distance, and you next to me, asking how all of this started. You are so new to me. Minutes new. And you're probably wondering why I'm trembling. And I might be reading too much into the way you are not reading in too much into anything. People are stupid. Too much into the way you faltered before you said hello. The blush that washed over your face, but I don't think so. It's early, I know. We've only just met. I mean, you said minutes new, so did you just meet minutes ago? Like, but this might be a love story, so I want to tell it the right way. I should start with print shop, the romance of it. The dark wood, the ink smell, the papers everywhere, sheets of it cascading off every surface. Okay, you're a weird freak. You get freaked out about paper. That's interesting. Hang on one second. I want to turn my volume off real quick. Okay. The old lights. I mean, like, the dark is... Well, no, you said the dark wood. Anyways. The old lights on the desk and the framed monotypes and screen prints. The mugs of steaming tea and Eduardo with his accent and Neve with her pregnant belly. Aren't you in high school? And especially Alexander, the shop owner. Who the hell am I saying? Aren't you in high school? Whoa, that made it just sound like I had a kid in high school. I didn't. Oh my gosh. Neve with her pregnant belly, and especially Alexander, the shop owner, the artist, holed up in his office at all hours while his husband, Terry, calls and sighs, eventually shows up with a frown and dinner on a tray. And me, I read ball jiggling for a second. And me, the bell jangling as I walked through the door in the beginning of the summer for my interview. I was like, that's a wild start to a story. I chose this shop because it was the only one I could find that didn't work digitally. They didn't even have a website. Everyone is always telling my generation that we aren't going to know how to engage with people. We're all going to end up with computer chips implanted in our brains and screens stuck in our eyes like contact lenses. I mean, you know what? I wouldn't be this dramatic, but we're damn near it. But no one gives us any solutions, so I decide to find my own. Plus, I want to learn how to make that kind of magic. Ink and metal and screens and paper. I want to do something with my hands. Neve introduced herself and led me to two stools. Led me to two stools. Somehow I had expected to meet Alexander, the owner, but I didn't. I heard his footsteps in the lofted studio above us, though I sat in the glow of one of the skylights that lit his face, prepared to give my best answers. We need someone to help out and cover for me while I'm off, Neve told me, hands resting on her belly, explaining that the shop had a staff of only 3. Oh, they're just working in the parking lot of a high school. I was like, this is a lot for like a high school print club or something. You know what I mean? I was like, employee. I was like, staff. You know what I mean? Like, what do you mean staff? Like, you don't pay me, but it sounds like it's, yeah. Anyways. To reiterate, I was just making a joke earlier. I just meant, like, I know a lot of people who got pregnant when we were younger and stuff. We need someone to help out and cover for me while I'm off. Neve told me, hands resting on her belly, explaining that the shop had a staff of only 3. Alexander did all the printing, while Neve handled customers and Eduardo managed the finances and the back end. My dad has told me it's good to ask questions. It shows you're interested, he said, and that you'll be a quick learner. What does the back end consist of, I asked. Behind the scenes stuff. Ordering the ink and paper. Basically, he deals with supplies and keeps the roof over our heads. I get sales. Alexander makes magic, so when the baby comes, it's going to be tough. Even the appointments have strained things a little. Every time the doctor calls, we're down 2/3 of our staff. The phones just ring and ring because Alexander refuses to talk to anyone. I glanced across the room to Eduardo, who was busy with the catalog. So he was the father? This was a question about which I was sincerely curious. This was a question about which I was sincerely curious, but I didn't want to get too personal. But then Neve leaned forward and said, "We've been basking in a seemingly eternal youth, and now, shit, I'm 37. I told Eduardo now or never, and threw the condoms away." She leaned back and laughed. "Okay, thanks for tolerating my overshare. I like you. You're hired." Oh, that's so me, dude. I would just say so much crap and just be like, "What was it saying? You know what? I'm sure you're fine. Just let's go." You're hired, like, you know. I said, "Thanks." I shook my head to rid it of the image of the two of them having sex and stood up to shake her hand. There's another lesson my dad taught me, the importance of a firm handshake, and thus began my 11-week wait. Why? I spent my mornings researching print. Oh, okay. I was like waiting to start the job. I spent my mornings researching print techniques so I could talk knowledgeably when the customers called. And I'll be honest, I wanted to impress Alexander. I thought that maybe after so many years of doing this all on his own, he would want an assistant, an apprentice. I wanted to impress him so that maybe he would let me watch him work. In between learning printing terms, bleed when the ink prints beyond the edge of the page, debossing when an image is pressed into the paper instead of printed onto it. I tried not to check Instagram for posts from my ex-girlfriend. We've been broken up for 3 months. She was headed to another state for college, and I was stuck here in my hometown for another year. So we were trying to be friends, which since school got out seemed to mean very little to her. Okay, so you're fresh out of high school. Okay, that's what it sounds like, maybe. I just don't like when they don't give a lot of details, you know? Like, I want to know a little more, like, "Hi, I'm so-and-so, I'm in this stage of life," kind of thing. It just gives a little more context of what's going on, you know what I mean? Like, I was stuck here. Oh, wait, no, I already said that. As soon as the days got hot enough, a group of us would gather at Becky's or Kirby's house. The two of our group with pools in their backyards and nibble away at their seemingly endless snacks. I always kept my phone near, not for news or gossip, but in case the shop called me. At the end of July, I broke down and called to check in, fearing they'd change their minds. Oh, so she did wait that... Dang. I would have called way sooner than that. Wow. I broke down and called to check in, fearing they'd change their minds, but Neve assured me that they're just behind, so swamped that it would still be a few more weeks. I just want to remind you that once school starts, I'll have later afternoons and evenings and weekends, I told her. You are in school? I'm lost. Are you in college? What's going on here? Oh, that's fine. Alexander rarely arrives before 2. And then 2 nights before the evening of the fall semester of my senior year, she called. Oh, there you go. Fall semester of my senior year, she called and said they were ready. Which brings me to this morning. Picture it. I'm standing in the doorway. Everything I'm feeling. Nervous and determination and excitement. The weeks I've spent researching printing techniques and the years I've spent pinning Alexander's work to my Pinterest page. It's all on my face. Girl, the internet is free. They could go see you doing all of that. You know that, right? Like, well, not all of that, but at least the Pinterest page. It's all on my face. And so is a carefully blotted coat of red lipstick, a pair of chunky black glasses, and a little mascara. My hair is in a neat bun instead of the usual messy one, and I'm wearing a sleeveless shirt buttoned up to the collar and a pair of nice jeans. It took me ages to get it right. I wanted to feel like I belonged, even though I was 2 decades younger than the youngest of them. So I was standing in the doorway. I was ready to travel back in time, so when people looked into each other's faces instead of at their phones and used landlines to place calls and worked with wood frames and cans of ink and brushes. The bell jangled, jangled, and the door shut behind me, and I heard Neve's voice saying, "Oh, principal, not principal." Shit. Okay, we thought it was like the principle of hope. We were actually a bit perplexed by the phrasing, but there's some sort of something poetic about welcome principal hope. What? What? Is there different ways to spell principal? Oh, like, oh, duh, like principal as like the school and then like the principal of something. Okay, I don't know, I assumed that they were the same spelling. Oh man, that's why I'm like, what are you saying right now? She spun in her chair, listening to the person on the other side of her call, and waved at me. I lifted my hand to wave back, and as my eyes adjusted from the bright summer morning to dim, dusty clutter of the front office, I saw something. It was like one of those pictures in kids' activity books. Find the object that doesn't belong. But instead of blending into the scenery, it leapt out at me. Too silver, too new, too deliberately placed on a newly cleared off patch of desk with a chair right in front of it. A chair that might as well have had my name on it. A laptop. My heart sank. I sincerely apologize. We'll get a new one printed right away. When do you need it? No, we can do it. I understand. I'll call you when I have an ETA. Oh, she's like on the phone. I was like, what? She hung up. What shit show? Welcome, Eduardo, she's here. But welcome, Eduardo, she's here. Eduardo appeared from the supply closet. Happy first day, he said, but it was not quite the happy day I had imagined, because at their request, I was soon seated in front of the sole computer in the shop I had chosen for its lack of computers. This is a really exciting day for us, Neve said. We've been trying to convince Alexander for years that we need to have an online presence. Business is okay, but we rely almost exclusively on repeat customers, and some of our equipment could use updating. Replacement, Eduardo said. More replacement than updating, unfortunately. So we need to reach a new pool of customers. We've been thinking about it, and then you walk in, a real live millennial. And we knew you could be the one to make it happen for us. We need to Wait, what? So we need to reach a new pool of customers. We've been thinking about it, and then you walk in. A real live millennial. That's insane to say. And we knew you could be the one to make it happen for us. We need to hold on to our image, Eduardo said. Analog, classic, a little quirky. But also serious, radical even, Neve said, gesturing to the upper wall with a row of framed prints from various resistance efforts. A cluster of them caught my eye. Audre Lorde and James Baldwin, and Harvey Milk and Oscar Wilde. Alexander should be central, but not too prominent. More photos of the shop than the man. He likes to stay behind the scenes. So we need Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. What else? Snapchat, Pinterest, Flickr? What the hell is Flickr? What is that? Wow, I said. I don't even have all of those. You can start small, Eduardo said. Just a couple. What would make the most impact? Twitter, maybe? They were eager, ready to believe me no matter what I said. Man, I've been there. I'm not a millennial, but as a Gen Z, I've been there. No matter what I said. Neve was wide-eyed and nodding. Eduardo's head tilted like a giant bird's, watching me for guidance. It was not at all what I expected. I thought they would be teaching me. I thought I'd be watching them. Them this way. It was my first day of my first ever job, and I came ready to take notes and try and make mistakes and learn from them. I was ready to absorb, but instead they were asking me to impart. I was trying not to let the disappointment engulf me. Oh, what? I wouldn't have been I guess, but it's not, I guess. Well, let's see. Trying not to think so much of the color of ink and the techniques I'd been studying. This is not what I wanted, but it was something I knew how to do. It's your first day! What did you think they were gonna make you do? I don't even know what you all do here. Like, you think you were gonna do some crazy upper level shit right now? No. What? Like that. This seems like a very, very entry level thing, and you should be very happy that they want your opinion about some of this stuff. Like, they are eager for you to work for them because you give them value in some way. Like, trying to think so much of the colors of ink and the techniques I've been studying. This was not what I wanted. But it is something I knew how to do, so I resolved to make the best of it. Yeah. If it helped keep this business going, then I would do what I could. Social media is great, but we need something to direct it to. I said, we need a website. Alexander said, no website. Neve said, what about just a landing page? I asked. An image, your contact info. That's all we'd need. Super minimal. Neve glanced at the closed door of Alexander's office. Even though he wasn't there yet, Eduardo shrugged. A good compromise, he said. What Alexander doesn't know won't hurt him. You know what? More power to you. I set to work. Eduardo showed me how to use the shop's nice digital camera, and soon I was photographing prints, trying to get the lighting right, figuring out how to position myself so my shadow didn't get in the way. This will be a great way to familiarize yourself with the work we do, Neve said, and she was right. The shop had some of everything, from letterpressed wedding invitations to original artwork. There were business cards and monogrammed stationery. There were limited edition books with thick pages and brilliant colors, but my favorite things were the posters. I couldn't tell what had been commissioned and what Alexander had decided to do himself. Some of them had his signature stamp in the bottom right corner, and those I realized were his own art. Most of them were intricate geometric designs and were all editions of 25 at least. I dragged a ladder over to the cluster of images that had caught my eye earlier. I had been saving them as a reward. It was a series, each with an image of a person and a quote by them below. They were all familiar to me because Mr. Leahey? Leahey. I have no idea how to pronounce that. Who was my sophomore English teacher. Leahey? Mr. Leahey? I'm going to say that's what it is. Who was my sophomore English teacher and the first person I ever came out to. He's the one who first told me about print shop, actually. Oh, you know what? Wait, are we a girl or a boy? Because I was just talking on my first TikTok about how, because I was like with the scissors, I was like, and I was like, that'll be really funny if there's like a lesbian story in here. Let's see. I can't. Do you guys remember? I have bad comprehension. Are we a boy or a girl? Did we say that yet? Did we have hints of that? What is our name? Well, not that, you know. Anyways. Where was I at? Oh, right here. He's the one who first told me about print shop, actually, after I complimented a framed print that hung over his desk. The coming out was almost accidental, in the form of a love poem in a journal that I thought he would just check off and not read. But instead, he wrote, "Love this one," below it, and gave me a check plus. The P.S. I have some great queer writers to recommend should you ever want something like that. Yeah, you know what, being grown now, I definitely can see myself being able to clock like that when they talk about gaydar. Yeah, like you can just tell. You can tell a little bit now, right? I didn't think so. I used to think I'd be like, how do people know? How do I know? You know, but I know. Anyways, this is no way. Oh, sorry. I have some great queer writers to recommend should you ever want something like that. It took me a couple of months of blushing and not meeting his eye, but then I finally stayed after school to ask, and he handed me a stack of books that he had apparently been saving for me all that time. I devoured them. When I wasn't sure of myself, those writers were sure of me. I was turning the lens focus on Audre Lorde's work that helped me then, and still help me sometimes, because even though my friends and family are fine with who I am, I know that plenty of people in the world and in our country are not, even if they hide it, even if they pretend they are saying one thing and they are really saying something else. Now the words were clear through my lens. When I dare to be powerful, to use my strength in the service of my vision, then it becomes less and less important whether I am afraid. And I snapped the picture and climbed down. And climbed down. The print shop handle was taken. No surprise there. So I added the name of our small California city and printshopmartinez.com, and at printshopmartinez were born. I found the perfect part of the shop to photograph: a weathered wooden table strewn with printed posters. Strewn. I'm going to say strewn with printed posters and cards, cast in light from the leaded glass window above it. I used it as the homepage for the website and simply added the name, street address, and phone number in small Helvetica type at the bottom. As minimal as it could be. Then I go to work on Twitter. I use the wooden sign with the hand-lettered print shop as the profile picture, and then the small table and window image as the background. Since I wouldn't be on the clock every day to tweet for them, I wanted to schedule daily tweets out about a week. What do you want people to know about the shop? I asked Neve. Well, she said, and held my pencil to the paper, ready to take notes. We are not cheap, and we are not quick, but we care a lot. We're attentive, or at least we try to be when we're not totally swamped, and I'm not 8 months pregnant, and Alexander is the absolute best in the business. We're right for a certain type of client who wants a product that looks truly special, a discerning client. We have a solid reputation and a 30-year history. I get what you're saying, and I would take in everything that she's saying, but I'm like, it's just very hard to portray something like that over social media. Like, does that make sense? I don't know how to explain it. I'm so bad at explaining things that I'm like, there are so many businesses out there that, like, have a very good potential to do a lot of this. Hold on one sec. Know how? Oh, it's probably because I went out. I went into like a different app. Okay, I didn't know that. Okay, that's why Twitch streamers will have like 7 phones. Damn, bro. Okay, we are learning how to use Twitch. Okay, now I know why influencers have, or like Twitch streamers will have like 7 phones at once when they're doing that stuff. I thought it was really just so that they could have one phone for just clear image of like just clear video, and then they could have one phone for just strictly reading the chats and stuff. So I mean, that could still be the reason why, but like I have a feeling it's because they need their phone to function, and then they can have one for actually streaming. So that's interesting to know. Anyways, let's finish up because that was crazy. I can't believe that. Oh my gosh, this is fresh. This is annoying. Why is this like this? Where was I? Oh yeah, she was talking about, okay, so that's what I was saying before. That was my whole thing before. I'm sorry, I'm just like, I'm so used to doing like recording a video, and if I mess something up, I can just kind of, you know what I mean? But like, now I've just kind of like split my thing into a bunch of different ones, and it's just, I think, irritating me, but it's okay. It's okay because day 1 went really well. I'm glad that it was day 2 that things went stupid, because if it happened with day one, I would have been discouraged and been like, forget it, I'm not doing this anymore. So, you know what? It's okay. Flukes happen. Play it up. It's okay. It's alright. Anyways, so where was I? Right, so she's talking about, you know, like, they're trying to portray, like, the awesomeness of their company and stuff like that, right? And I was talking about how, like, it's very hard to do... BRB. Yes, I still have a house phone. Anyways. But like my issue, my thing is that it's very hard to portray these, not because there's a lot of really good businesses out there, so you're just like, it's not like you're just getting just filtered through just a bunch of them. It's that there's so much bullshit out there, right? There's so many people who don't live up to a lot of the things that they say online, so people are just always kind of thinking you're a scam, which kind of sucks. Like, that's how I move on the internet a lot of times, and like, you will actually find websites that are like, oh, this is really awesome, or it's like a really awesome business or concept or whatever, but it's so hard to like take that at first, like face first, just because there is so much bullshit out there that doesn't do that, right? So I do get like that, like, she has all of these like, oh, we're this great, but like she's having a hard time portraying that on social media and stuff, right? She said, we have a solid reputation and a 30-year history. We champion progressive causes, and Alexander has done a lot of pro bono work. But maybe don't advertise that, because I don't want a field of a bunch of calls from people wanting things done for free. Yeah, I'd say the same thing. We use techniques that are almost obsolete, not because we should be, but because they take time and care and a level of dedication to master that most people aren't willing to exert. In other words, we're special, and we think our customers and their projects are special. She finished... Okay, I think I just figured it back out. I think I figured it out, because it's like continuing the last one that I just messed up. And I thought I messed up. Okay, anyways, alright, whatever. I'm just gonna download them all, and then it's gonna all go together in one on my YouTube channel, but whatever. I'm just... Ugh. Oh my god, I just hate when this kind of stuff happens. Anyways, where did I leave off? We're special, and we think our customers and their projects are special. She finishes and smiles. Is that enough to start with? Absolutely. I had 2 pages of words and phrases to work with, so I took a seat at my laptop and station and began composing our first day's tweets. Oh, tweet. Okay, yeah, maybe that's a little easier. Like, Twitter is a little bit easier to maybe, like, portray something like that, right? We've been around for 30 years, but we're brand new here. Please welcome us with a follow. We pride ourselves in quality over quantity. With us, you'll find excellence in both product and customer service. Print Shop, a discerning shop for the discerning client. Neve heaved herself out of her chair, off to pee for the 300th time today, just as she got to the bathroom door and phone rang. I looked at her, wondering if I should answer, but Eduardo picked up. Yes, he said. Oh yes, the banner. Well, Alexander isn't in yet, but I assure you it is our top priority. Right, yes, today. Yes. I'll let Neve know. No, you called. A history of progress printing, I typed, and added the Audrey Lorde image, I sat back. How would anyone find us if we had 0 followers? It was the banner girl again, Eduardo said when Neve reemerged. I really screwed that one up, she said, and Alexander has the whole Jenkins order to complete today. She erased herself back into her chair. See, that's the whole thing, is that, like, you start trying to do the social media thing because it'll help you get more business, right? But then you're playing catch up because you're trying to be consistent with that and consistent in this very niche special thing that you do. You know what I mean? That's always how people who can do a special skill get just kind of fall behind and stuff like that, when it's like you probably do something really cool that a lot of people would be into if you just had the right kind of like structuring around that, right? Like around like your social media and all, right? Like that's quite literally why a lot of these like big companies don't do a lot of the social media themselves. They hire out like a whole team, like, and it won't even just be like 1 or 2 people. There's like a whole team of people that are figuring out the TikToks and the tweets and like the everything that's going on, right? I do think it is a little bit more simpler now, just because there was that trend going on TikTok for a little while, where like people were showing like their TikTok, and then they were showing like the TikTok that they run, and it would be like a branded TikTok, right? Like it'll, you get what I mean? But like, yeah, like, and that, yeah. Anyways, where was I? Just as she got to the bathroom door, the phone rang. I looked at her more further down. I really screwed that one up, she said, and Alexander has the whole Jenkins order to complete today. She eased herself back into her chair. One more question, I said to her. Do we have any friends, like businesses that we partner with? Take a look at the client list, she said. Some of them are well known. She pointed to a green binder on a shelf near me. Go ahead and look through that. So I spent some time searching for our most recent client on Twitter and following them. Then I flipped through the binder and tweeted directly at the companies that have hired us and have a following. And one by one, people started following us back. Break time, Neve said to me. You can take between half an hour and an hour. Just make note of the time when you leave and get back and deduct it from your shift hours. Okay, great, I said. Before I left, I checked the scheduled tweets. One would go out when I was off, and then I'd reply to any others that came in and thank people for the following when I got back. I got a burrito and I ate it on the bright sidewalk patio at the restaurant. I ate fast, not wanting to take too long away. I checked my ex's Instagram and didn't find anything new, and then saw that I'd only been gone for 20 minutes. So I walked up and down the main street of downtown, looking into the windows of the new stores that had sprouted up in the old, restored buildings. Things there... oh my gosh, okay. I'm reaching flow state. Give me a sec. Oh my god. How did I literally just had where I was, now I just lost where I was. Anyways. Had sprouted up in the old restored buildings. Things there were changing. A lot of the antique stores were gone, replaced by a hair salon and a boutique. A former photographer studio where we'd had family portraits taken for a few years was now a wine bar. I began to understand why Print Shop needed to step carefully into the present. The town was changing, and the shop didn't want to be forgotten or left behind. I was feeling great about how much I'd already accomplished when I got back. Neve and Eduardo were drinking iced tea from tall glasses, each working in silence at their respective stations. They offered me one, and I set it carefully next to the laptop and opened Twitter. There were 27 new follows, and a bunch of people tweeting to welcome us. But then a new reply came in. At Print Shop Martinez. Are you kidding me? I clicked on it. It was in response to the excellent tweet that went out over lunch. Whatever I thought. The internet can be a mean place. Wait, what? What do you mean? What did she say that was so bad? We've been around for 30 years, but we're brand new here. Please welcome us with a follow. We pride ourselves in quality over quantity. With us, you'll find excellence in both product and customer service. Print shop, a discerning shop for the discerning customer client. Is that insulting? I'm lost. Anyways, are you kidding me? I clicked on it. It was response to the excellent tweet that went out over lunch. Whatever, I thought, and the internet can be a mean place. I clicked the person's profile, only 300 followers, no big deal. But then, a few minutes later, another one came in. Late and wrong. How exactly is this customer service excellent? Hey, what excellent did she say? What else did she say? I'm lost. I'm kind of confused now. But anyways, maybe she's going to say it later? I'm lost. How exactly is this customer service excellent? Hey, Neve? Yes? I'm sorry to bother you, but she must have heard something in my voice because she was soon next to me, looking at the screen. Yeah, whoever it is, they don't have a huge following or anything. Don't have a huge following or anything. What should I say? Never think that about the internet, though. There are people who have gotten big followings because of something that happened through, like a tiff online and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Just then the doorbell chimed, and there was Alexander. Tall and thin, with a slight hunch in his shoulder, gray hair peeking out from under a straw hat and mug of coffee, in hand as though he had come directly from his kitchen table. Good morning, he said to all of us, giving me an extra nod that sent a bright spark to my stomach, and a warm welcome to our new addition. Neve, it will be a busy day. Let's get right to the schedule. With that, he turned and ascended the stairs to his studio. Neve smiled at me and whispered, "Don't worry, I'll make sure he learns your name." She waved towards the computer as though she could banish our disgruntled customer's problem with a single gesture. Just use your discretion with that. I trust you. Then she was making her way up the steep stairs, and Eduardo was pacing a seemingly endless phone order, and the angry tweets were glaring at me from the screen. I searched for, I'm still confused about this whole angry tweet thing. Late and wrong. How exactly is this customer service excellent? So they just got something wrong? That's all it was? Anyways. I searched for a few businesses' profiles to see how they responded to customers' complaints. I saw lots of so sorries, lots of exclamation points, lots of personalizations with people signing their first names or telling the customer the name of the person who would be getting in touch to fix the problem. One of them wrote, Beth. Beth will be getting in touch with you within the hour. She is the best. I realized that would feel good to have a problem and then be told the best would be helping me fix it. I switched back over and wrote, at Lauren in real life. At Lauren in real life. So sorry to hear about your experience. Please give us a call to talk to Neve. She will make sure your problem is solved. Oh, why would you do that? Why would you do that before telling Neve that first? That woman is pregnant. Leave her alone. What? Don't give her that kind of... She's 8 months pregnant. Damn. Why would you do that to that woman? That's insane. Oh my god. A moment later, another tweet came through. At Print Shop Martinez, I've been waiting 4 hours for her to call me back. Oh! Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Oh my god, I told you. Oh my god. It just takes that one bad response from a company for it to just, for you. Oh my god. Anyways. Oh. This feels like when what's their name went to AI and everyone was like, unfollow. What was their name? Oh my god, it's that language learning app. I always forget the name with the owl. I'm blanking on the name right now. What is its name? For some reason, I keep wanting to say Owala, but that's the stupid water bottle. I literally cannot remember the name of it. You guys know what I'm talking about. It's like green. It's a green owl, right? When they thought TikTok was dying, they like revealed who was in the owl suit and all that, right? Anyways, where am I? Okay. Then, like, the first cracks before an avalanche from someone named at CaliGirl00, at Lauren Hill Real Life, at Print Shop Martinez. What's going on? Is this about the banner? Oh my god! Oh, not this damn banner. From at Micah _Mick to at Lauren Real Life at Print Shop. Oh my god, I can't do this. I'm gonna try and say all this. Oh my god, at Lauren in Real Life, to at Print Shop Martinez, to at CaliGirl00. You didn't hear? They spelled principal wrong? Oh man. Well, you know what? Don't put me in a print shop because I literally thought principal was spelled the same way. So, oh my gosh. They spelled principal wrong. And then at Lauren in Real Life wrote back, at CaliGirl00, at Micah _Mick. I understand that they made a mistake, but I don't understand why they aren't fixing it or returning my calls. Ugh. Then a new person, at Lauren in Real Life. I don't know you, but this sounds like a terrible business, and the way they're handling it is even worse. At Print Shop Martinez. No. Girl, this is your first and last day, girl. Oh my god. She really said send and went to lunch and thought she was gonna come back to like going viral positively. Oh my god. God damn. Damn. Oh my god. Okay, they kept coming, and I gave it one more try. At Lauren Real Life, we sincerely apologize for this and are doing all we can to resolve the situation. Please DM or call for updates. Why would you say that? She's been calling. Oh my god. I shut the computer. Eduardo was finally finished with his call. This banner thing is becoming a real problem on Twitter, I told him. He showed me his cell phone screen, opened the Twitter app. He's been following along with everything. Maybe Alexander was right about all of this. We're an old-fashioned business. This technology may not suit us. He shrugged and tossed his phone on the desk. Then he added, "You've been doing a great job, though. I wouldn't have known what to say." Has she been doing a good job, though? Like, I don't know. I wouldn't have known what to say. Thanks. Maybe when we get her, the banner will delete the tweets, or at least say it had a happy ending. Eduardo glanced towards Alexander's studio. Maybe, he said, but his voice lacked optimism. I was about to ask why when Neve emerged and crossed as swiftly as she could to the phone. She flipped through the green binder and then dialed. "Jessica," she said, "it's Neve. So lovely to hear your voice. No, it isn't ready quite yet, but that's why I'm calling. I know we promised it by the end of the day, but Alexander is running a bit behind. I assure you they look gorgeous. We are going to deliver them to your office tomorrow morning. No, we don't mind at all. That will give you plenty of time to have them for the dinner, right?" "Wonderful. No, thank you. Say hello to Meg and have a wonderful night, and please don't worry about a thing." She hung up and dug her thumb into the space between her brows. Eduardo rose and wrapped his arms around her. "All this stress isn't good for you." No shit! No shit! Oh my god. I'm still convinced we caused this. I am. "Isn't good for you," he murmured. "I know. I'll try not to get wrapped up in it. Unfortunately, there is one thing you should see." He handed her his phone and scrolled through. "Well, perfect," she sighed and climbed the stairs again. She tapped on Alexander's door and opened it, but didn't enter. "We have a Twitter problem. I said I didn't want the Twitter in the first place. We lived without it for 30 years, so it doesn't much concern me. It's just the principal banner. I know, it needs to be done over. Okay, so it's on your to-do list, near the top?" I heard some grumbled words and then the door shut. She made her way down again. "We have to go," Neve said to me, hand on her enormous belly. we have an appointment. So much swarmed through my mind, like, should I still leave at 5, or even if there was no answer? And how could they leave me alone with Alexander, who didn't even know my name? But I'm assuming this is when it's gonna happen. What should I? Enormous bad. Leave me alone. Does no one know? But I could only get out the simplest of questions. What should I tell Lauren? That it's being handled," said Neve, slinging her purse over her shoulder. "Do you know, like, a specific time or anything?" "Not yet. Maybe just a window? Sorry. Are you coming back after the appointment?" "No, it's 4 already, and the appointment's all the way in Oakland. And with the commute traffic, she looked at me. Listen, we try our best. Sometimes we make mistakes. Sometimes we let people down, even though we really don't want to. He has this huge order for a long time client to get through for tomorrow, and then he has one banner for a new client. And I don't know if it's all going to get done. He's trying. I can't promise anything." Have you guys been doing it like this for 30 years? Like, I'm... Then they were gone, and I was alone in the downstairs of print shop. The front door was locked, and the open sign faced in. Twitter was quiet for a moment, besides the occasional ping of someone following us back. I find more tweets scheduled, and I push them out a couple of days so that our bad publicity would have time to die down. I click on Lauren in real life's profile again and scrolled to see what I could learn about her. I saw a lot about school and principals, so I tried to find where it all started. There it was, 3 months back. "Thanks for electing me to be student rep for the hiring committee for our new principal. I promise to ask tough questions and be your voice." There was a photo attached, and I clicked to expand it, and as soon as it filled the screen, I was bowled over. This girl, short, shaggy hair and no makeup, a confident grin, a shirt with a picture of John Muir on it, which some people would find so nerdy that I found irresistible. In fact, to my surprise, as I scrolled, I found nearly everything about our worst Twitter nightmare irresistible. Nearly found everything about our worst Twitter nightmare irresistible. There were tweets about the final candidates. Is she about to fall? I totally forgot. We're gay. And I thought that she was going to be into Alexander. Which... Are you about to fall in love with the chick who was giving you bad tweets? Lauren in real life? Is that what's happening here? Anyways. I scrolled and I found nearly everything. There were tweets about the final candidates of her school's new principal, urging people to come to the final interviews to weigh in, asking for issues that are important to her classmates. Then there was the announcement. Couldn't be more excited to introduce Alhambra's new principal. Dr. Joyce Hope will join us at the end of the summer. And in between all of these, there were other tweets. Pictures mostly of hikes she'd taken, close-ups of flowers and plants, blurry bunnies as they hopped across a trail, even a family of foxes. I've read some of John Moyer's essays. He had lived in our town, so his books are strewn through the cafes and everyone's houses. But I don't come from an outdoorsy family. Looking at her feed made me want to try walking the hills he used to walk. I wanted to try with her. I knew we hadn't met, but I recognized this feeling. A DM approached across the screen as I was learning all I could about her. Have I been forgotten? Girl, literally no. Literally no. Suddenly she had answered all the swarming questions from Neve and Eduardo's departure. Oh no. Have I been forgotten? No, I shot back. Not at all. I'm working on it. Will you try back in a couple of hours? I'm really so sorry. Suddenly she had answered all the swarming questions from Neve and Eduardo's department. I could stay past 5 o'clock. I would stay as long as it took, and it didn't matter if Alexander didn't know my name yet. It was up to me to make this right. But I still didn't know how to do that. I figured all I could do for now was wait. He'd have to emerge eventually. I keep scrolling to find out more about Lauren. I found more pictures of her, and they made my hands shake and my stomach ache in this glorious lovesick way. Girl, what? That's a little crazy. Then I made myself do something else. I wasn't even on the clock anymore, so I looked up hiking trails. That's wild. And then John Moyer quotes, I set up more tweets. If I'm about to read that she started quoting this man in her business's tweets, I'm gonna go insane. Do not do this. Oh my god, I really hope she didn't do that. I set up more tweets even though I technically shouldn't have been working, because something I like about myself is that I care about the things I do. I know Print Shop's Twitter got off to a rough start, but I felt optimistic for its future. And then, much later, the phone rang. Print Shop, I said. Hey, this is Lauren. Her voice against my ear. My throat seized up. I tried to say hi, but nothing came out. I'm the one who ordered the banner. I've been tweeting with one of you about this. Right, that's me, I said. My name is Evelyn. Oh, we have a name now. Have we had a name? Did we say our name before? I do not remember our name before. I don't think so. Cool. We have a name now. Awesome. So, Evelyn. Evie. Why was I telling her both versions of my name? She had no idea who I was, and no reason to care. Oh. She sounded surprised or frowned off or frown off or something. I wondered why. Well, I'm sorry for my rudeness. Just please tell me that my banner is going to be finished tonight. It's already late, and I know you guys are closed, and it's really important to me. It's for something I've been working on for a long time, and if I don't get it tonight, I won't be able to use it at all. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry about all of this. I said, this is actually my first day. Everyone else left except Alexander. He's the printer. He's working upstairs still. I'm actually supposed to have left, but I'm trying to see if I can get this taken care of for you. Yo, that's me. That's me. Eventually, at some point, I'm just going to tell the customer the truth. I'm just going to be like, look, this is the exact situation. I tried to be as professional as I could with figuring it out, but this is where we're at. This is where we're at. You know, kind of thing, right? That's definitely me. I'm trying to see if I can get this taken care of for you. Thank you. Sure, I'll let you know when I know more. As soon as I hung up, the phone rang again. Breathless, I picked it up, expecting it to be her. Instead, it was a man's voice. What surprise! Who is this? Evie, I said. May I ask who this is? But he just sighed. Usually, I call and let it ring to remind him what time it is. But if he has reinforcements at this time in this evening, things must not be going well. I assume he's holed upstairs, but if he emerges, please remind him that his husband has dinner ready. I will. Aww. Her boss is gay too. That's cute. That his husband has dinner ready. I will. He sighed again and hung up. Then a DM came. This is long. Do you guys see how much that's italicized? Wild. Anyways. Damn! That's even more than I thought. It's all the way to down here. That's a DM? That's crazy. Anyways. Then a DM came through. There was more than I wanted to say but forgot to, so here it goes. I chose your company over other more affordable ones because I believe in local economies and in supporting businesses whose values reflect my own. I want to choose a business right in here in town where my school is and where I live. I wanted to choose a queer business. I wanted to choose an independent business. You know what? I take back everything I said. This is a very good DM. I thought it was gonna be something way different. I don't know. I thought it was gonna be like, you know what? I heard your voice and I thought you were really cute. Like, I wanted to choose an independent business, an established one, not one trendy new one where I upload an image and they send it to me printed on glass or some shit and delivered via drone like 2 minutes later, and it's great for the welcome party and then goes straight into the recycling. This banner you guys made is really beautiful, and it would be perfect if what I was talking about were the principle of hope and not a woman named Hope who is going to be our principal. I know it's late now, and maybe you're the only person left there, and maybe you can't do anything, but I need to say that just now when we talked, it was the first time I felt truly hopeful about this all day. If there is any chance this can still work out, I would really appreciate it. I'm working at my school tonight to get ready for the welcome party in the morning. I will be here for hours, so no time is too late for me. Okay, good night for now. You know what? Yeah. Stand your ground. You paid money. You know what I mean? Anyways, something in her good night made me blush all over again. Girl, she's talking to the company. Like, I know she's talking to you, and she knows that she's talking to, like, a person, but, like, she's talking to a company, yeah? Like, calm down. Calm down. Daddy chill, okay? Like, oh my god. Something in her good night made me blush all over again. The intimacy of it, of course, I couldn't know for sure, but I doubted she had chosen that phrase if she thought she was tweeting to Neve or Alexander. Wait, I need to read again. Something in her good night made me blush all over again. The intimacy of it. Of course, I couldn't know for sure, but I doubt she would have chosen that phrase if she thought she was tweeting to Neve or Alexander. I wish I was this delusional. That's insane. That was insane. What? The intimacy of it? Okay, anyways. Okay. Of course I couldn't know for sure, but I doubt. Okay, and then I felt foolish for hoping because she had no idea who I was or that I went to high school a few miles away from her, that we were the same age, that we both liked girls, that the first glimpse of her pictures sent a current up my spine. This is like the most lesbian thing I've ever read. This is very, we met last week and moving in next week. Like, I am so dead. And that we both liked girls, that the first glimpse of her picture sent a current up my spine, sent my blood rushing, made me think immediately about being kissed by her. This is insane. By her. It was only my voice. In only a few moments, I banished the fantasy that my hello sent some kind of spark through the phone and reread her message. I decided to be brave. She doesn't know you! She doesn't know you. It's your first day. It's your first day, girl. It's your first day there. She doesn't know you. Duh, she wouldn't talk that way to Alexander and Neve because she's not talking intimately to them. Oh my god, I'm so irritated at this girl. The stairs to Alexander's studio creaked as I climbed them, and I couldn't help but think of Neve going up and down with her huge belly each day. I didn't blame her for not returning that night. Yeah, me either. What? The door was closed, and I heard the rustle of a sheet of paper inside. I knocked loudly, enough that I wouldn't have to wonder if he'd heard me. Yes, I heard from the other side. I opened the door to the studio. I had imagined a room full of metal and paint and machinery, but I had not expected this. I didn't know how the floor of the loft could hold it all. There were so many machines, so many papers, so many tubs of paint, so many metal alphabets in different fonts and sizes. I'd stepped into another world. I felt it. A giant clock on the wall said what I already knew. It was 8 o'clock and getting dark. And Alexander... 8 o'clock? You're supposed to be gone at 5, right? What have you been... Have you been just scrolling this bitch's Twitter for like 3 hours? Have you just been rereading her DM for 3 hours? That's insane. Don't do that, guys. That's weird. This is weird. This is weird. We're weird. Evie is weird. Okay? I'm just saying. I really hope this kind of ends with, girl, who are you? You know what I mean? Like, I don't... Anyways, where is it? Where's she at? Where am I at? Giant clock on the wall. It was 8 o'clock and getting dark, and Alexander was deep in a more important project, and we were running out of time. Hi, I said, I'm Evie. Yes, our new hire. Our last new hire was a decade ago. Momentous day, this one. I couldn't tell if he was joking. Nothing about my arrival seemed momentous to him. It sounds like sarcasm, girl. To him, but being the first employee to join them in so long must count for something. He looked out the window instead of at the clock. It's far past closing time, yet you're still here. I'm like, you're still here too? I've been dealing with Lauren. She ordered the principal banner. I know, it seems like we've missed our chance to get it to her, but it's not too late. She's still working, and I'll bring it to her when it's finished. Is that the only... I mean, I know that you want to help her out, but it sounds like you just want to do that so that you could be able to go over there and meet her. I guess whatever motivates you to get the job done, right? Whatever. I'll bring it to her when it's finished. He was still looking at his current project and not at me. He wasn't even so much as nodded in... He hadn't even so much as nodded in response. So I took another deep breath and said, I know I'm brand new and this isn't my place to say, but I just need to say it. Please forgive me in advance, but the way I see it is that we accepted this girl's job and we took her money. And we gave her something with a major error. She needs it by tonight, and we need to fulfill our obligation to give her what she ordered and paid for. Alexander ran a hand through his silver hair. His glasses reflected the lamp on his table, and then he tilted his face towards me, and the reflection was gone. And I could see his eyes. They were smiling. Ah, he said, a straight shooter. I like that. Yeah. You know what this guy sounds like to me? It sounds like, I can't remember his name in the show, but like Ron Swanson in The Last of Us. That's exactly who it sounds like. Like that's exactly who I'm picturing as I'm reading this. Like, yeah, like exactly him from The Last of Us, from that one episode of The Last of Us. Like, and I always forget his name. But yeah, him. Straight shooter, I like that. He glanced at his watch. Do me a favor, call Terry. Our home number's on the bulletin board and tell him I'll be home later. And then let out a and tell him home, what? Oh, and then let out a disgruntled young customer know that we will, then let our disgruntled young customer know that we will have her banner to her by 11. Yes, I said yes. Yes, my eyes burned and I didn't even feel stupid. I feel like I'd done something right. I made someone listen, and not just anyone, but Alexander. Radical, cranky, brilliant Alexander, who believed in art, who believed in living up to your promises, who didn't even know what the Twitter was, but wanted to do the right thing anyways. I'm going to need a hand, he said. After you're finished with your phone calls, Terry listened to my bad news and said, could have called that one, and hung up. I picked up the phone to call Lauren, but then lowered the receiver. In a few hours, I was going to meet her. I didn't want to waste any more of our introduction on phone calls, so I DM'd her instead. Let me know where to find you at 11, and I will be there. New banner in hand. Smooth. That was a smooth line. All right. Let me know where to find you at 11, and I will be there. New banner in hand. Right? Like, girl, I know you felt smooth saying that. Really? Thank you. South parking lot of Alhambra High. Text me when you get here. Thank you again, in like all caps. And then she gave me her phone number. I copied it into my contacts, full of hope that I'd be using it for a long time, not only later that night. You are a very optimistic person. Like, this is a lot. You met her on Twitter. Like, Alexander gave instructions like he'd been teaching all his life. We started by finding the stencil he had cut out for a long but paper-thin sheet of metal. He pulled the principal and laughed, hands on his head for a full minute, then had to cut and iron a piece of cloth. What? Then had me cut and iron a piece of cloth while he cut a new stencil to replace the wrong word with the right one. Finally, we lay the fabric on one of his massive work tables, and he laid the stencil over it, the new principal fitting in a space he cut out of the old one. He taught me how to open a can of paint. Okay, I guess. I was like, you don't know how to open a can of paint? But I'm you know what? I'm not going to say nothing, because that's, yeah. I get it. I have not known how to do very simple things either, and that actually probably isn't a very simple thing. My parents are just contractors, so. Where did I go? Can of paint. He taught me how to open a can of paint and how to mix it. The most brilliant grass green, the richest blue, the happiest yellow. In the midst of it all, Terry showed up with their what? Cockavin for 3 on ceramic plates with silverware and cloth napkins. Alexander said he was too busy to eat, but sat down anyway. Terry asked me questions about myself, and I tried my best to sound interesting enough to be worthy of their company. The food was delicious, and I was wondering how many nights Terry cooked that way, only to walk the few blocks from their downtown Victorian to dine in the dusty shop. And then we were finished eating, and Terry had collected the dishes and left. Alexander made some final touches and placed the banner under hot lamps. I watched the paint change color as it dried. At one point, I reached to touch the tip of a letter to test it, but Alexander barked, "Not yet!" It was 10:15, but it would only take a few minutes to get to Alhambra. Each time I thought of parking there and finding Lauren, my heart raced. Finally, Alexander declared it dry. It was truly beautiful, like something from the past, something that would last just how Lauren hoped it would. I could see it hanging in the new principal's office forever, reminding her of how she had been chosen and the importance of her work. He folded the fabric into a square. I could see that he still had more to do for his other order, and I understood that this was because of me. The banner printing had taken longer than I thought it would. "Do you want me to come back and help with the rest?" I offered. He smiled at me. "I can't afford that much overtime." I didn't know what to say. "Just joking. The rest is easy. Drive carefully through the night, and I'll see you tomorrow." Oh shit, I totally forgot she's on the clock throughout this whole thing. I really did. Man. Oh my god. I don't know. She's talking about some Victorian chalet, like, over in downtown, so I think he can. But, and I'll see you tomorrow. I'm not scheduled again until Tuesday. Then I'll see you on Tuesday. To drive to Alhambra High School took less than 10 minutes. I'm just saying that I have one page left, just this last page. And I have a feeling we're about to find out something about Lauren that we don't want to find out. Yep. I just maybe you didn't scroll hard enough. Maybe you didn't scroll down to the wedding pictures. You know what I mean? I'm just gonna assume she's got a girlfriend or a wife, you know? The drive of Alhambra High School took less than 10 minutes, but my concept of time was off. The red lights were brighter than ever, the sky was dark, and the trees rose tall around me. I could hear my own breath. I was aware of everything. And then I was pulling into the south parking lot like Lauren told me to. Soon as I parked and turned the car off, I saw a figure in a lit doorway. Her figure. How did you just know? Are you sure it's not just a woman? You found her on Twitter. Like, I climbed out of the car, banner in hand, and headed toward her. So that's how it started, I say. So like, they put these little dots every time they, like, change scenes. Okay? So, like, okay, so they did it throughout the rest of it also. So, like, when they were changing from, like, one part of the story to another part of the story, right? Like, kind of bouncing back and forth, kind of like flashback thing kind of thing. That's what's happening here. So that's where I stopped. I climbed out of the car, banner in hand, and headed towards her. Okay, that's what that is. And then there's this little beat, meaning, like, we're going on to another part of the story. That's how it started, I say. I left out some of the details, of course, like just how carefully I studied your photos and how they... I've left out some details, of course, like just how fully I studied your photos. Why are we saying your? Are we talking to Lauren now? Studied your photos and how they made me feel, but I don't want to hold back too much. I want to give this all I can, so I dare to touch the hem of your shirt and add, I saw this in one of your Twitter pictures. I love John Muir. You cock your head. You looked through my profile? Oh, we're Lauren! Oh, we're Lauren! Oh, shit! Oh, shit, we're Lauren! Oh, man! Oh, okay. Did we know that before? Whoa, okay. We're a principal. Oh my god. Anyways. You cock your head. You looked through my profile. Yeah, I'd be weirded out too. I would be too. You're a business. Why are you looking through my shit like that? Anyways. I was curious about our disgruntled customer. I can hear the nervousness in my voice, but I tell myself it's okay that I'm nervous. It's okay if you can tell how it feels to be this close to you. It's okay if you can tell how it feels to be this close to you. What? I look into your face, allow my gaze to linger, and I see something register in yours, a moment of surprise in your eyes that turns into a shy smile of your own. So I should be heading back in. Thanks again. I nod. You take the folded banner from my hands, take a half step backward toward the bright classroom, and before my disappointment has time to register, before I can wonder if this is all there will ever be between us, you say, "You're coming with me, right?" So, when I predicted that Lauren was maybe married, I totally forgot I was reading a book about meet cutes. First of all. Second, that was lame. I'm sorry. I don't like how that ended either. That ended very abruptly. There was like so much detail in the beginning of this story. So much like other detail that had nothing to do with... You know what? I'm not even mad that I messed up this second stream because that was kind of a shitty ending. I don't like that. I did not like that. Like, I just didn't like that. Okay. Like, just because I was making the jokes earlier of like, oh, this is like so lesbian coded of like average lesbian coded of like, we met last week and moving in with each other next week. Like, it's just too accurate to that joke, I think. I don't know. I think I wanted something. I wanted like a spicier ending. I think I wanted something funnier or like more surprising. But I think them switching it up, maybe that's what the surprise was. Them switching it and turning it into you are Lauren. That was really cool. I did like that. I was getting confused at first, and then when they were like, you cock your head, you look through my profile? Like, when I read that, I was like, oh, we're Lauren. We are getting hit on right now. Yeah. But, you know, like, other than that, I didn't really like that story. That was not... I don't know if that's going to be my least favorite one, but so far it's my least favorite one out of the two. Yeah. Day 2 was not great. Hopefully day 3 is better. But day 1 was good. I like day 1 a lot. Not a lot. I don't think it's going to be my favorite, but it was a really good start. I think that was a really strong start. In the sense of, like, it had me hooked. I was like, oh, so we gonna be a toxic couple now, right? Like, and so, because they were like, she was like getting excited at the idea of them fighting and stuff like that, and I was like, ooh, girl. But this was cool. I mean, I only really liked that they changed the point of view to where we find out that we're Lauren. But other than that, the story was not good. I did not like that one at all. But come back tomorrow, for day 3. I don't know when I'm going to do it. I really can't make a schedule of, like, when I'm going to do it. It's just going to be, like, kind of whenever. You'll just look out on my TikTok to see when I'm going to be posting, when I'll do it and stuff. So, alright, see you guys later.